Please, I'm begging you. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free pussy.
Let's move the drug addicts closer.
Bass already solved crime. I endorse her.
Next!
Please, I just want to rebuild my home. It's been over a year.
Oh, look!
This is a machine. If we want to burn this town to the ground, throw that! I feel.
Well, you may or may not be aware of what's going on out in LA, where one of the worst mayors in the country, Karen Bass, is at risk of getting beat by a TV reality star from the show The Hills back in the early 2000s by the name of Spencer Pratt. Now, as you saw in that ad, he has been rocking the Democrats with all of his ads. They have been dynamic. They've been delivering a message, and they've created excitement. He's even got backing from big name celebrities, and you're going to find out more about who this gentleman is and why the Democrats are panicking, because not only are Republicans in the lead for the governor, now you have a member who is Spencer Pratt is registered as a Republican, but he's been running his campaign as an independent, even though he's registered GOP. And I'm sure you can imagine why he's doing that out in LA. But when you listen to his policies, when you listen to him speak, you understand that, yeah, he's one of us. Now, in this video, you're going to learn more about Spencer Pratt, and you're going to learn more about just how bad he is taking it to the Demon Reds out there in LA. And you know, LA is a safe haven for the blue. Not right now. The people are so fed up. They're so pissed off on the heels of the Palisades fire, with the homelessness, with the crime, with the businesses leaving. They are fed up. And right now, due to their unsatisfaction, I should say dissatisfaction with the Democrat leadership, they're willing to give the keys to the city to a former reality star who since that time has done some amazing things and built himself up to the point where now he is a strong contender for the mayor of LA. You see what Trump did? He set a trend, being one of the first people who was not a politician to win major office. Now we've got other driven people that are successful business folks that are throwing their hats in the arena to save this country. So let's get into it. As you can see right here, Karen Bass's chances of beating Spencer Pratt as Kamala Harris endorses her. That's right. She's already not doing well. He's out fundraising her. He's outperforming her. And to help her campaign, guess who came out of the woodworks? Kamala Harris. And they're hoping that this will have some weight on the voters there in LA. Only time will tell. I personally don't believe so. I believe that's why she hasn't even thrown her hat in the arena for 2028 presidency. She's testing the waters after getting beat as bad as she did in 2024. She don't want to get embarrassed again. And I think she'll probably have an issue raising some money after blowing through the $1.5 billion in fundraisers, then the other $1 billion in super PAC money. So altogether, the Harris Waltz campaign blew through $2.5 billion. And guess what else happened afterwards? They still had bills left over. You talk about mismanagement. So what I want to do is I'll get back to this article. Matter of fact, I'll read a little bit of it, and then I want you to meet and hear Spencer Pratt. And I'm going to show you one of his commercial ads that took the people by storm, has everybody talking about it. But like I say, he's got the endorsements of some heavy hitters. Wait till you hear the name. So Karen Bass's chance of beating Spencer Pratt as Kamala Harris endorses her. President, let me close this. LA Mayor Karen Bass received the endorsement of former Vice President Kamala Harris as polls show Bass in a potentially tight race in her reelection bid. Bass, a Democrat, is facing a challenge from Spencer Pratt, a Republican reality star, as well as several other candidates from her own party. Harris announced her support for Bass on Monday. Polls show Bass with less than the required 50% support to avoid having a runoff, with a significant portion of the electorate remaining undecided. So Harris's endorsement could carry weight among undecided Democrats. Kamala Harris praised Bass as the leader Los Angeles needs right now, touting a decline in homelessness and in crime. Yeah, right. They just shuffle people around. You and I know what's going on. Mayor Karen Bass is the leader Los Angeles needs right now. She has done what so many said couldn't be done. The first ever 2-year decline in homelessness, reducing crime to levels this city hasn't seen since the 1960s, and refusing to back down when the federal government came after our neighbors. Harris said in a statement, she has my full support for re-election. Now, what they don't talk about, though, is the entire country has seen a decline in crime, violent crime specifically, to where they haven't been this good since in 120 years. So we're at 120-year low on violent crime. And what it's doing, it's allowing these mayors, these radical socialist mayors like Brandon Johnson in Chicago, Karen Bass out in LA, to say, oh, crime is down, but that is by default, not to any help of them. And then the whole homelessness thing, I mean, understand this. Let's just say it decreased by 0.1%. And those are the type of things. One thing I always say about the demon rats, they'll take a little bit of truth, but they'll blow it up and have it engulfed in a huge lie. So let's just say it ticked down 0.1%. So technically, homelessness dropped, but it's still outrageously high, higher than any place else in the country, and it's getting worse. They know it's re-election time, and we already know if we gonna trust LA or the California numbers, we know that they cooked the books. Look at the whole hospice situation that's just been busted out by Nick Shirley. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, would you do me a solid and hit that like button? I will never ask you for a donation, a cash app, or a super chat. You hitting that like button, it really helps the channel. It lets YouTube know that people are enjoying it, and they should push it out for other people to enjoy it. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And once you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all. And if this is your first time here and you want to wait till the end or wait a little bit more before you hit that like button, it's all good. Just do us a solid if you're enjoying it and hit that like button. I really do appreciate you. Now, let me get back to exposing Karen Bass and helping my man Spencer Pratt. Bass said in a statement that she is deeply honored to have the support of Vice President Kamala Harris, who has spent her career fighting for the people of Los Angeles and our country. Harris's support could be meaningful for some demon rats who remain supportive of the former vice president. Not many, particularly in her home state, where she served as a senator and attorney general. Harris has weighed in on other races ahead of midterms. She supported Representative Jasmine Crockett in the Texas Senate race, though Crockett ultimately lost to state legislator James Tallarico in the Democratic primary. So, red flag, she endorsed Jasmine Crockett. That didn't work out too well. So let me show you one of the ads that he's running that's really got people going crazy. Check this out. And then I'm going to let you hear, because he sat down with Will Cain and really got a chance to introduce himself, not just to the people of LA or California, to the people of the country. This rising star is impressive, and he's not afraid to take it to them. And they've never seen a Republican running a race like this in LA. And let me tell you something. The Republican Party needs to be watching these ads, paying attention to how Spencer Pratt is on the attack and looking at how well it's working out for him. Them trying to play nice and doing all this, that's that crap that John Thune and even Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, they always want to try to maintain decorum, but they got to understand, you can't be an angel in a room full of devils. But check this ad out.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor. For my sons and the rest of us Angelinos that want to stop these corrupt politicians from destroying our city. We are going to get the golden age of Los Angeles back.
Now, do you see that ad? He pointed out Mayor Karen Bass's mansion, and then his other opponent, I believe we pronounce the name Rajman. She's running against him. Both of them living in mansions that were not touched by the Palisades fire, while he's living in a trailer because due to Karen Bass's lack of leadership, they haven't been able to rebuild their homes on property that they're still paying mortgages on. Can you imagine still having to pay a mortgage and paying taxes, specifically property taxes, on a property that's not even there? And then the county and the city that you're making these payments to for your property taxes and all the other taxes that they give you in California, you're making these payments and it's not expediting the process. And I remember over a year ago when the president went to California and had a press conference and Karen Bass was there. And she's like, Trump is like, hey, these people need to be able to get in there and build. They should be able to do this. They'll get in there and clean the debris themselves. And she said, oh, we're on it. Yeah, we're moving fast. And I'm thinking that within the next few months, it's going to be good to go.
I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can.
Bold-faced lie. And you know why I think they're doing it? They had plans to build this LA smart city that was supposed to have been ready by 2028. So isn't it ironic that a huge population, a huge portion of LA burns down right at the same time that this smart LA project was in the works, just like their high-speed rail project that has taken billions of dollars and not one piece of track has been laid. Same thing with this freaking smart city. But they caught the arsonist in this, who is a deranged leftist who was inspired by Luigi Maggioni, who took the life of the healthcare CEO. Deranged. But that's not all with Spencer Pratt. I want you to check out this news report as they talk about how he's shaking up the race. Former reality star is taking it to these career politicians in a major way. And then after this clip, you're going to get a chance to hear from Spencer himself. Check this out. On the heels of all of the stuff that's taking place in the country right now, seniors, it's extremely important that you make sure you've got the best Medicare plan available, because Medicare plans are expected to increase 10%. And that's $215 out of your Social Security check. And guess what? Some of your doctors may not be in network. Some of your prescriptions may no longer be covered. And that would suck for you to be going to visit your doctor to find out they're not in network, or for you to need a prescription to find out it's no longer covered. Why take the risk? With Chapter, you can reach out to Chapter, and a free phone call can last as short as only 20 minutes and speak to one of the highly skilled, unbiased professionals that will help you make sure you got the best Medicare plan available. If you've got the best, great. But if not, they can make sure you've got what you need. So use that number there on the screen, or visit the website at askchapter.org/realpolitics and let Chapter make sure you've got everything you need.
The antagonistic villain on hit reality TV show The Hills.
Because what I wanted to do and say to you, dear, woo!
But Spencer Pratt is now taking on a new role, channeling his polarizing persona into politics.
That's why I am running for mayor. And
The Los Angeles mayoral candidate, who lost his home in the Palisades fire last year, releasing a now viral new campaign ad, slamming current mayor Karen Bass and his other Democratic challenger for the city's handling of the historic disaster.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nicky Raman's $3 million mansion sits. They don't have to live in the mess they've created where you live. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor.
That ad racking up more than 10 million views in just 24 hours, helping the 42-year-old with no political experience gain some traction in the race. Since January, when Pratt launched his long-shot campaign, he's raised more money than any of his opponents, including Mayor Bass. And he's getting high-profile support, including from popular podcaster Joe Rogan.
I can't vote for you, but I'm rooting for you. I mean, if I lived in Los Angeles, no question whatsoever, I would vote for you.
Over the years, Pratt and his wife, Heidi Montag, have made several appearances on Today.
On that show, I'm the villain. In life, I want to be a hero.
Recently telling NBC News about why he wants to take a turn to politics.
We have career politicians, and that's why I'm actually running to come in and to make change.
A spokesperson for Mayor Bass's campaign telling NBC News Spencer is doing his best Trump impression, but it's not going to work in L.A. His other opponent, City Councilwoman Nithya Raman, saying in part, filming an ad outside my home where my young children live feels unnecessary and reckless. But despite Pratt's momentum, his candidacy still has elements of reality TV. His sister, Stephanie Pratt, declining to endorse him, posting in part on her now private X account, a vote for him is a vote for stupidity.
So, wow. Liz, the primary just over a month away now. What are Spencer Pratt's actual chances of winning at this point?
Yeah, Craig, he does have a decent shot of making it to the runoff in November. Polls right now show some 40 to 50% of voters are still undecided. If he does get to the general election, though, that is where he's going to face a much more uphill battle. Pratt is a registered Republican, and while the race is nonpartisan, and he says he's not running with any party affiliation, it has been more than 2 decades since LA has had a Republican mayor. Craig.
All right, Liz Courts, keep us posted, Liz. Thank you.
Hey, so what that really means, if you decode it, looking at a leftist mainstream media outlet that had to give this man, when they said, does he have a shot? If he didn't, she would have shot it down and said, oh, no chance in the world. They couldn't say that. He's out fundraising them all. He's picking up major celebrity endorsements, and not just the one from Joe Rogan outside of LA. And think about that. You have the #1 podcaster in the world who has hundreds of millions of listeners, speaking your praises, but he's also picking up celebrity endorsements there in LA by some powerful freaking people. But I'll get into that here in a little bit. In this, let's take a look and let you actually get a chance to hear from himself, because I think it's worth it. I think you'll like it. Check out this clip where Will Cain talks with Karen Bass's #1 political opponent right now, who stands a strong chance of whooping her butt. Check this out.
Voting for mayor starts today, and one candidate is gaining momentum. It's former reality TV star Spencer Pratt. He's gotten 12 million views on X for this new pointed ad directed at his opponents.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? They don't have to live in the mess they've created. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are.
A spokesperson for candidate and councilwoman Nithya Raman responded, filming outside my home where I live with my children feels unnecessary and reckless. Mayor Bass also responding via spokesperson. Spencer is doing his best Trump impression, but it's not going to work in LA. Bass today picked up a big endorsement. Kamala Harris, we're going to see if that helps move the needle. But the mayor also going further on all of this, making a deeply personal accusation.
Honestly, before this, I had never heard of Spencer Pratt. So
well, you aren't missing out on anything, so it's okay, but please go on.
Exactly. But the thing I am concerned and feel about him is that I feel like he's exploiting the grief of people in the Palisades. And I think that's
right.
Reprehensible. That's the main thing. And I think he is about his own celebrity. He's famous now again.
Exploiting grief.
This lady don't give a crap about the people in the Palisades. At least he's giving them some light. He's shining light on the situation. He is one of those people. So for her to say that is so disingenuous, while her mansion sits up on the California hills perfectly fine. This lady is one of the most unqualified people, and I get sick of that Cheshire Cat grin that she has. I don't think she's a real person. I think she's a robot, because with the worst stuff going on in her city, she sits there with that plastic smile, just yeah. Oh my God, can't stand this woman.
Pratt is currently living in a trailer after his home was destroyed in the Palisades fire. I saw it myself firsthand when I interviewed him there just a few weeks ago. His wife, Heidi, recently describing the impact of the fire and it had on their family, including their young son.
I'm focused on my 3-year-old saying he's going to push our house back up. And he still says that every day. And he says oh, that hummingbird's house burned down, or that duck's house burned down. And so everything is about houses burning down. He's 3 and he thinks it's somehow his responsibility to push our house back up and that he's strong enough. And he's like, I can do it, Mom. I'm strong enough. Let's go back. I'll push our house up. And so it's about helping them through it and talking through it too.
Joining me now is Los Angeles mayoral candidate and former reality TV star Spencer Pratt. Spencer, it's good to see you. Thanks for being with us here today. I'd love your reaction to Karen Bass, who says you're exploiting the grief of people in the Palisades.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Karen Bass forgot that she let my house burn down and my parents' house burn down. And I had actual neighbors burn alive across the street from my childhood home. The only grief is my community's grief that I initially started this fight on behalf of. And she forgets I have received 2 community advocate awards from the Pacific Palisades community. So it's the most insane, psycho, diabolical thing I've heard in a minute, but it's not shocking. This is the same woman that will allow 7,000 houses to burn to the ground, 12 people to burn alive, and then actively cover it up, get caught covering it up, and then say that the LA Times is lying, even though they have the emails where she's altering the after action report, which, as far as I'm concerned, is obstruction of justice. So it's disgusting. It's disgusting. The fact that she's trying to think that I want to be in this position. I want to be back in my life that she let burn down. And that's why I got into this race, because somebody like her should not be in a position of power ever again in history.
Spencer, your ad, since I saw you last, has gotten a lot of attention online. On the other hand, Karen Bass did pick up a big endorsement today. She got the endorsement of former vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris, who said that Bass has done a good job stamping out crime and homelessness. Your reaction?
Yeah, obviously Kamala Harris loves Karen Bass because of Karen Bass letting the Pacific Palisades and Malibu burn down. Kamala Harris was able to get a $2 million discount on her new house in Malibu that if Karen Bass hadn't let burn most of Malibu and most of Palisades to the ground, she would have never been able to get that $2 million discount. So it really does not matter who endorses Bass, because the people that endorse me are the women and mothers that want to feel safe again in the streets of LA. And my two opponents will not enforce any laws. And that's why women and mothers and kids do not feel safe in the streets of LA. So she can have all the political endorsements she wants. She can go do all the photo ops she wants with Trump in the White House. And, you know, they're calling her MAGA Karen all over X because she was the one walking out with the MAGA teddy bear out of the White House. So she'll take any endorsement to keep her corrupt politician career going here.
Yeah, Spencer, you do seem to be getting some traction online. As I mentioned, the ads that you're cutting are really seeming to cut through. Why is that?
Because my ads are the truth. These politicians do not have to live the consequences of their decisions. My ad is that simple. And for Nithya Raman to say her kids, the funniest part about that is I was in a suit outside of a public street for 1 second. She fights moms in her district that want to get drug dealing, drug addicts away from schools and parks. And she fights these moms. She's on camera saying there's no difference between 1 foot and 500 foot with drug addicts near kids. So now she's concerned about the safety of kids when that has to be her kids. What about all the parents who have kids that you fight because there actually are drug addicts that are exposing themselves naked in front of kids all across her district? So these people are diabolical, truly.
All right, Spencer Pratt, thanks for joining us again here today. It was good to see you a few weeks ago, and glad to have you on the program today.
Wow. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how he takes it to him? No holds barred, and you can feel the sincerity because he is one of them. He is somebody that deals with the backlash from the horrible policies that Karen Bass and his opponent. This woman literally was at a public rally recently, and parents were going crazy because they want some type of restriction where homelessness and homeless people cannot be within 500 feet of a school. And he's right. She said, what difference does it make? It's not bothering the children if a homeless, naked drug addict is 1 foot or 500 foot from the school.
May I ask a specific question? I'm wondering if you support 4118 around schools and daycares.
I already voted against it, you know?
There you go.
Because it doesn't work. I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because it's 10 to 5 away from a school. You know?
God, that will kill me.
Well, she gets on camera and says, oh, my children in the house. And he's right. He used the perfect word. These people are diabolical. So what I wanted to do is to bring you this story and let you see that there's hope for California. Like I say, right now, Steve Hilton, the Republican, is winning. He's leading in the race for governor. And we got my main man, Spencer Pratt, kicking butt in the race for LA. Wouldn't it be something if we able to land a Republican governor and a Republican mayor? That's the way things will get done. Because if a Republican governor gets there and the Democrat delegate, whoo, I can say, oh God, seems like it'll be a nightmare for him. But if you can get a Republican governor there and then get a Republican mayor in the biggest city in LA, I mean, in California, the most popular city, should I say in LA, in California, oh my God, that way things can get done. People can start rebuilding their homes. Drug addicts and homeless people can be moved away from being near our children. It's just nuts. But if you stayed and you watched this up to this point, I would love to know, what do you think about Spencer Pratt based on what you heard in the advertisement? And if you live in California and you're not familiar with who he is, you should become familiar. And if you live in LA and you're thinking about voting for anybody outside of this man, shoot me a message and let me know why. I want to know what in the world could make you want to vote for Karen Bass to be reelected for 4 more years of the bullcrap she's put LA through. What would make you want that rather than choosing this man? I'll put it to you like this. He can't do any worse than she has done. He can't do any worse than what Gavin Newsom has done. So you might as well roll the dice and give this man a shot. But I wanted to bring you the story. If you've hung out and you watched with me up to this point, I want to say thank you so much. I really do appreciate you from the top and bottom of my heart. If you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. Most importantly, Patriots, make sure that you stay safe and that you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.